Now, when, typically when Casey, if he gets the job, when he's there, can he leave the evidence store open?
No,
Yeah. So,
unfortunately, I wish.
You're actually better off going with the 3 zones.
Yeah.
so I guess I would say if we approve 10,000, we still have time, you know, once Casey's here, we can meet with Lakes Region.
Yeah.
If we think we can get by without doing it, fine, you know, we don't spend as much money.
Is it 11,000,
No,
8,600, and 2,400?
Oh, yeah, you're right, it's 11,000, that's 11,000, that's right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We gotta do the police department. It's the evidence room, I don't.
Well, like I said, I think,
They can assess it when they come.
like I said, I think as long as, if we approve the total purchase, we still have time, we can talk with them to figure out what we can do. And if we don't have to buy the unit, the additional capacity, we don't.
And the heat the heat down there right now is very inconsistent. Right?
I'm sorry.
When
Dad's in the firehouse.
When you dial the thermostat.
Yeah, we don't have heat. We haven't had heat.
Well, it's the main
So-
one down there, but.
Yeah, the gentleman that came, that was looking at, I think when this was an issue, they had come downstairs and he said that when the water finally gets to that end of the building, it's cold. So it's not warm, so I try to leave the door open when I'm there, but
And it gets you
unless,
down there, right?
unless Charlie's down there.
I guess my next question, I agree we should go with this, but at what point are we phasing the boiler up?
Well, I
It's gonna
think,
basically have no purpose after this.
well, no, because these don't, you know, at least when it gets really cold, these things don't handle it. I agree with you, that it would be good to, you know, I would say long-term, the plan should be to move towards a propane boiler.
Do something smaller.
Something smaller, yeah, to do
Cause
that.
that thing's huge.
And then we're buying nothing but propane for the town.
It's all this stuff. Alright, we gotta move forward with it, it's been kicked down enough, so, 11,000 is the total. Motion to approve 11,000 for mini split for the police department.
So it'd come from, building improvement capital.
Building improvement. For the police department and the evidence room.
Second.
All in favor?
Alright,
Aye.
Did you get my second?
Thank you, Rick. I'm waiting along, very fast, you thought it up.
I'm trying to
Moisture
talk.
issue. That was a wide open one for years.
I don't want you to cough, so here.
I'm not sick, I was in surgery yesterday. I had tubes and cameras and stuff shoved down my throat.
It's always pleasant. So you guys got for Tiffany?
where do we stand on, if you've got a hold of anybody in the black mold?
No, that's kinda gonna, I never got a hold of Jimmy. I did try a couple times, but, I haven't had a chance to try somebody else. I think Nate tried, I don't know who'd you use for mold? I know that, but I'm just,
You talking about for testing or for remediation?
it's minimal, it's a minimal amount.
I got that from Nat, she knows the name of the company we're gonna deal with now.
I've looked at a couple other ones, but I don't want them to be, we don't need it big.
The one I had before was out of Northfield and just don't.
I've got a feeling once we get the heat smartened up, it's gonna alleviate the condensation, it's gonna cause, it's part of it.
Still physically,
Yeah, physically, yeah.
But all that's gotta get it out, cause those spores will just spread
No,
and
you
make them
definitely,
sick.
it's gotta be you gotta be,
The other thing is the energetic rains, because the drainage around the building, it comes in through those walls.
yeah.
So it's been a very rainy spring, so I bet it's pretty damp down
Does Jim Gardner,
That's who I tried to get hold of Jimmy a couple times, but he does side stuff, but he works full-time for another place too, so.
police out of Lebanon too. I don't know if they come this far.
I just figured I'd use it, he's local, so I just don't know what his schedule is on his side stuff.
Yeah.
I'll follow up on that again. I can open that. Okay. That should get that in shape. Hopefully we will have a police officer on the second. If all goes well, and that should be moving forward. That's all I had.
That's all I have. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Mr. Moulton, how are you, sir?
No,
Yeah, for us. Have a good night.
Hey, Tiffany.
it's, hasn't been a whole lot going on, which is a good
You
thing.
can make more text, whatever.
Matt and Joe have been busy doing trainings and setting up a lot of things to, we're trying to get the station cleaned up a little bit, not as fast as we'd like to. It's been, we haven't had a whole lot of calls. It's been, which isn't a bad thing. What's going on with the SCBA's? I left you a message, never heard back from you. On your
For the
purchase order?
PO?
Yeah,
And desk.
Yeah, I thought.
yeah, I left you a message, never heard back.
Signed off on.
There's that testing one. It should be over.
So you can get those tested and,
I did sign it, because I got your message, I did sign it. I don't have it in front of me. It is signed. It's-
Okay.
all right,
it is
so I just
signed.
wanna make sure that gets through, because Matt had brought it over and I'm supposed to sign
And
it.
we talked and
Yeah.
called me and I did sign.
Good, well, I just wanna make sure everything was kosher there.
Yep.
We are going to do hose testing.
Did I sign it?
You didn't sign it.
No. I guess I'll sign it right now. Thought I already did.
I'm talking to the Mr.
We
Chief
should
about,
put that down to vote.
About 588, this is coming out of the,
I understand we should just vote on approving the,
Mhm.
you know, if it was an emergency, that was fine, but we just,
it's not kind of days, they're outdated and way overdue.
I just make a motion, I don't think, it's a budgeted item, you're right, I don't.
you're confusing me.
So I make a motion to approve PO to test the
588,
SCBA's for 588.75.
Second, all in favor?
Right? There we go.
Done. Good. Second. Go ahead.
So continue with the testing, we're gonna, I've been talking to the Bristol chief, or just a deputy, about borrowing their tester, we're gonna test our own hose. Might take us a couple Saturdays, but there's no sense spending $2,800 to test when we have the manpower, and it doesn't take long. Ladder testing, Bristol is going to be doing soon, and when they do, we'll jump on the same, time when they're there. Hopefully, I think it's supposed to be in June, so I can reach out and find out about that, so we'll get those all done, be up to code. The rescue is in limp mode again, which it was 2 or 3 weeks ago. It's because it has the regen system, the DEF system in it, which has been the problem with the diesel vehicles that don't do a lot of long mileage and open up the engine. So we go to a call, leave the station, go 2 or 3 miles, it sits and runs, goes back in the station, the next thing it's only going 10 to 15 miles an hour and arguing about climbing hills. We looking into what it'll take to fix it, getting pricing and what we can do to possibly redo that. So we go through a regen, which the truck literally sits there at full idle to burn out and get it to regenerate. Not good for the vehicle, a lot of fuel going through it. It just, when I bought an ambulance for Hebron, we made sure it was a gas job because of this system. So, and I think Bristol's new ambulance is also gas, because it's just such a hassle to deal with this diesel mess. Thank California for that.
And Jamie and I have talked, and we're looking into doing something to remediate that situation. So,
No, there's ways.
Huh?
There's ways to.
Yeah.
Legally?
we're looking into it.
Because it is,
Yes, because it is an emergency
because it
vehicle.
is an emergency vehicle,
Yeah.
it is legal. Because of the situation, because they're doing it nationwide. So we just need to obviously talk to the
We're
state.
just waiting
just
for
to-
the confirmation on that, and we've got a plan in place.
And we're doing the inspections on second, third, and fourth for all 3 trucks. I'm gonna talk to Shelley about getting the plates changed over to the new permanent plates, which it's just a new plate without the P. What they've done is give us a sticker on the other plates, and we're just gonna replace those with the new fire or municipal plates made for the fire department. That makes it a permanent,
Doing servicing too, we expect it. Doing a service.
yeah, service and inspect, right. I understand the tree behind the station that's on town property has been discussed before.
Yeah.
We really need to see about getting a crane in there sooner than later, because you could live inside of the tree. But I'm afraid which direction it's gonna go. And with the wind we've had, we've been lucky over the years, we've been talking about it for years, but we really need to consider it. So, just wanted to put that out there. It is a safety hazard, and insurance hazard. Matt and Joe had put together a fire chief committee, and have spoken, and there'll be a meeting later about that, so just wanted to update everybody, we're working on the new fire chief position. And I don't have a whole lot on that. And then the health officer, hasn't been a whole lot going on. I'm supposed to be going to a class down there, a conference down in Concord, on more health officer stuff, and catch up with a lot of the newer tick stuff and mold remediation and asbestos remediation, so. That's what I got. Nate's got a question for you.
Go ahead.
So I have a question about the whole process for like the interviewing and hiring of the fire chief and stuff. And like you guys know I sent you an email and stuff, but my concern is the way that we are interviewing and selecting department heads for this town. So a precedence has already been set twice now with the hiring of the police chief. That you guys do your interviews and your panels, and there's also a civilian panel